You are running through the rain. The mud is slick under your boots. Your lungs are burning. You are carrying a heavy pack, the weight of your responsibilities, the weight of your expectations. Suddenly, your foot slips. You lose your balance. You crash into the earth. The pack flies off your shoulder. Your face hits the dirt. The cold water soaks into your clothes instantly. The world stops. This is the moment of the drop. You lie there in the mud, and for a split second, you have a choice. The silence is heavy. The noise of your own failure is deafening in your ears. You feel the heat of shame rising up your neck, even in the cold rain. You want to curse. You want to blame the boots. You want to blame the weather. You want to stay down just for a minute, because the fall hurt and you are tired. Most men stay down. They do not stay down physically, perhaps. They stand up, they brush themselves off, but their spirit remains in the mud. They carry the failure with them for the rest of the day. They let one slip turn into a slide. They let the slide turn into a collapse. But the warrior does something different. He hits the ground. He registers the impact. He feels the pain. And then, without a word, without a sound of complaint, he reaches out. He grabs the pack. He stands up. He finds his footing. He continues to run. The entire event took 5 seconds. He did not waste energy on the drama of the fall. He only cared about the speed of the return. This is the concept of the reset. You are not weak because you fell. You are weak because you turned a moment of clumsiness into a lifetime of identity. You let a mistake become a spiral. We need to talk about the spiral. You know how it starts. It begins with something small. You sleep through your alarm. You miss the morning workout. Immediately, the voice in your head begins the attack. It tells you that you are lazy. It tells you that you have no discipline.
Because you missed the workout, you decide that the morning is ruined. Because the morning is ruined, you eat a breakfast that betrays your diet. You feel heavy and slow. You arrive at work with a cloud over your head. You snap at a colleague. You come home and numb yourself with cheap entertainment because you feel like a failure. One missed alarm cost you 24 hours of your life. It cost you your dignity. It cost you your momentum. This is not a tragedy. This is a system error. You are operating on a fragile code that demands perfection. And because you are human and not a machine, you cannot provide perfection. So when the crack appears, the whole dam breaks. The hardened trainee learns this lesson early, or he does not survive. Imagine a young man training in an ancient guild. He is learning to wield a heavy blade. He steps wrong. He drops the weapon. It clatters loudly on the stone floor. The master is watching. The other students are watching. The trainee freezes. He looks at the blade. He looks at the master. He is waiting for the scolding. He is waiting for the punishment. His face is red with humiliation. He starts to apologize. He starts to explain that his hand was sweaty, that the grip was loose. The master strikes him. Not because he dropped the blade, but because he hesitated to pick it up. The master tells him, "I do not care about the gravity that pulled the steel down. I care about the time it takes you to reclaim it." The lesson is brutal, but necessary. Shame is a second mistake. The first mistake, the drop, was an accident. It was physics. It was a lack of focus. It happens. But the shame, the hesitation, the apology, that is a choice. That is you deciding to wallow in the past instead of acting in the present. That is you making the problem twice as big as it needs to be. Discipline is not a flawless streak. This is the great lie of the modern self-improvement industry. They sell you the idea of the man who never misses, the man who is a robot. This man does not exist. Even the greatest generals, the most stoic philosophers, the sharpest athletes, they all stumble. They all have days where the fog rolls in. Real discipline is a measure of your refractory period. How long does it take you to realize you are off the path and correct your course? For the amateur, it takes days. A bad weekend turns into a bad month. For the pro, it takes hours. For the master, it takes seconds. The master slips, corrects, and moves on before the world even notices he was gone. You must stop building your identity on the idea that you will never fail. That is a glass house. One stone will shatter it. Build your identity on the fact that you can recover from anything. That is a fortress. So how do you build this fortress? You need a protocol. You cannot rely on trying harder next time. You need a mechanic to break the spiral before it gains speed. You need the 60-second reset. This is a ritual you can perform anywhere. You can do it at your desk. You can do it in your car. You can do it in the gym after a failed lift. It is invisible to the outside world, but it changes the chemistry of your brain. The protocol has 3 stages. Stage 1 is stop. This takes 10 seconds. When you realize you have messed up, you ate the sugar, you sent the angry text, you wasted 2 hours scrolling, you must physically freeze. Stop moving, stop typing, stop chewing. You must interrupt the pattern. The spiral feeds on momentum. It feeds on the frantic energy of fixing it or the passive energy of giving up. By stopping, you cut the fuel line. You acknowledge the error. You say to yourself, I am off the path. Stage 2 is breathe. This takes 20 seconds. The spiral is not just in your mind, it is in your body. Your heart rate is up. Your cortisol is spiking. You are in a stress response. You cannot make good decisions in this state. You will only make impulsive ones. So you force a physiological reset. Inhale for 4 seconds. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Do this twice. You are telling your nervous system that you are safe. You are telling your reptile brain to stand down so your command center can take over. Stage 3 is choose. This takes 30 seconds. In this silence, you ask one question. What is the next correct action? Do not think about the rest of the day. Do not think about fixing the whole week. Do not think about your 10-year plan. Those are too big. They will crush you. Just find the next step. Maybe the next step is drink a glass of water. Maybe it is put the phone in the drawer. Maybe it is open the document. It must be small. It must be immediate. It must be actionable. You're not trying to be a hero. You're just trying to put one foot back on the line. Once the 60 seconds are up, you execute. This is the concept of the clean rep. You need a win. You need to prove to yourself that you are still in control. So you do that one small thing with absolute precision. You wash the cup and dry it perfectly. You write that one sentence with total focus. This small action breaks the spell of failure. It proves that the mistake is in the past and you are now in the present. You are no longer the man who slipped. You are the man who is moving. You must also repair the environment. Usually, a slip happens because your environment set a trap for you. The phone was too close. The junk food was on the counter. The workflow was cluttered. Part of your reset is to remove the trigger. Do not just say you won't do it again. Change the room so you can't do it again. Clear the desk, throw out the trash, close the tabs. Reset the stage for the next scene. Finally, you need to master the closing of the day. Many men go to sleep carrying the wreckage of the day with them. They lie in bed replaying their failures. This ensures that they wake up tired and defensive. You need a closing ritual. Take 2 minutes before you sleep. Look at the chaos of the day. Acknowledge what went wrong. Accept it. Do not fight it. Then, visualize a heavy iron door slamming shut. That day is done. It is sealed in the vault of history. You cannot touch it anymore. Then, set the first coordinate for tomorrow. What is the very first thing you will do when your eyes open? Not the first 5 things, just the first one. Lay out your clothes. Set the notebook on the desk. You are building a bridge to the morning. You are making it easy for your future self to start winning. You have to understand that you are not fragile. You have been told that trauma defines you, that failure stains you. This is weak philosophy. You are a biological system designed to heal. Your skin heals when you cut it. Your muscles grow when you tear them. Your mind is the same. It is designed to adapt and recover. But healing requires the right conditions. If you keep picking at the scab with shame and regret, it will never heal. It will become a scar. It will become a chronic wound. You have to let the system work. You have to get out of your own way. The spiral is a choice. It feels like gravity, but it is actually a surrender. You surrender to the emotion of the moment, rather than the logic of the code. The code says that the past does not exist. The code says that the only thing that belongs to you is the present action. So the next time you drop the pack in the mud, do not look around for an audience. Do not look for an excuse. Do not curse the rain. Stop. Breathe. Choose. Pick it up. The mud will wash off. The cold will fade. But the strength you build by refusing to stay down, that stays with you forever. You will fall again. That is a guarantee. The world is uneven, and you are carrying a heavy load. The question is not, will you slip? The only question is, will you stay in the mud and explain why it's not your fault? Or will you be the man who is already running again before the dust has even settled? The clock starts now. Reset.